eternal friendship which will last even after our liberation or even in the spiritual world. So we all know who is our eternal friend. It's none other than Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So SB 1.15.4. Sakyam Maitrim Sauhridam Cha Saratyadishu Samsmaran Nirapam Agrajamiti Yaha Baspa Gadgadaya Dhiram. Any Prabhujis or Madajis can pick up the reading of synonyms.
Sakyam, well-wishing. Maitrim, benediction. Hurudam, intimately related. Cha, also. Saratya, Adishu, in becoming the chariot driver. Samsmaran, remembering all these. Nripam, unto king. Agraham, the eldest brother. Iti, thus Aha said Bashpa, heavily breathing, Gadgadaya, overwhelming, Gira by speeches.
Thank you so much, Pooja Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation. Can Sandip Kopeshwar Prabhuji, can you please read the translation, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: remembering Lord Krishna and his well-wishers, benefactions, intimate familial relations, and his chariot driving, Arjuna, overwhelmed and breathing very heavily, began to speak.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mamta Mataji, can you just read the purport?
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam. Purport by A.C. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Living Being is perfect in all relation with his pure devotee. Sri Arjuna is one of the typical pure devotee of the Lord, reciprocating in the fraternal relationship, and the Lord's dealing with Arjuna are displays of friendship of the highest perfect order. He was not only a well-wisher of Arjuna, but actually a benefactor. And to make it still more perfect, the Lord tied him into a family relationship by arranging Subhadra's marriage with him. And above all, the Lord agreed to become a chariot driver of Arjuna in order to protect his friend from warfare risk. And the Lord became actually happy when he established the Pandavas to rule over the world. Arjuna remembered all these one after another, and thus he became overwhelmed with such thoughts.
Haribol. So I'm just planning to cover two slokas. So the background of this sloka is like once Lord left from this planet, Arjuna and other like Pandava brothers, they were searching and finally concluded that okay, Lord left this planet and felt very disappointed actually. So after that, Arjuna is remembering his intimate friend Krishna and his transcendental pastimes and activities with him, and he became overwhelmed by such those like here the Lord's dealing with Arjuna and what is a bhava and who is Arjuna to Krishna and who is Arjuna to Krishna to Arjuna has been clearly depicted in the puppet, and he is a well-wisher as well as a benefactor of Arjuna. So next sloka 1.15.5. Arjuna vacha vanchito aham maharaja harina bandhurupina yena me abhradam tejo deva vishmapanam maha. Himanshu Prabhuji, could you please read the synonyms, Prabhu?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Arjuna
Prabhuji.
watch. Arjuna said, Vanchita left by him, Aham myself, Maharaj, O King, Harina, by the personality of Godhead, Bandhu Rupina, as if an intimate friend, Yena, by whom me, my Apaharatam, I have been bereft, Teja, power, Deva, the demigods, Visma, Vismapanam, astonishing, Mahat, astounding.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Sadhu Sevana Prabhuji, could you please read the translation?
Yes, sure, Mataji, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jala Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna said, O King, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who treated me exactly like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Thus, my astounding power, which astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Tantwini Mataji, is it possible for you to read the puppet?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
In the Bhagavad Gita 10.41, the Lord says, anyone specifically powerful and opulent in wealth, strength, beauty, knowledge, and all that is materially desirable is to be considered but a product of an insignificant portion of the complete whole of my energy. No one, therefore, can be independently powerful and in any measure without being endowed by the Lord. When the Lord descends to the earth along with his eternal, ever liberated associates, he not only displays the divine energy possessed by himself, but also empowers his associate devotees with the required energy to execute his mission of incarnation. It is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita 4.5 that the Lord and his eternal associates descend to the earth many times, but the Lord remembers all the different roles of incarnations, whereas the associates, by his supreme will, forget them. Similarly, the Lord takes away with him all his associates when he disappears from the earth. The power and energy which were bestowed upon Arjun were required for fulfillment of the mission of the Lord. But when his mission was fulfilled, the emergency powers were withdrawn from Arjun because the astounding powers of Arjun, which were astonishing even to the denizens of heaven, were no longer required, and they were not meant for going back home, go back to Godhead. If endowment of powers and withdrawal of powers by the Lord are possible even for a great devotee like Arjun, or even the demigods in heaven, then what to speak of the ordinary living beings who are but figs compared to such great souls? The lesson is, therefore, that no one should be puffed up for his powers borrowed from the Lord. The sane man should rather feel obliged to the Lord for such benefactions and must utilize such power for the service of the Lord. Such power can be withdrawn at any time by the Lord, so the best use of such power and opulence is to engage them in the service of the Lord.
Haribol, thank you so much, Mataji. Here, Arjuna is remembering the past time which he had with his intimate friend Krishna. So while he was engaged in the Kurukshetra war, he was able to fight and he was able to win the war. But when he was engaged in the battle, or whenever he was asked to fight, after once Krishna left him, he hoped that he would win the situation, but he lost the battle due to Krishna's absence. So Krishna's power and energy, like which were like given to Arjuna, was, yeah, it was pouring onto Arjuna just to fulfill the mission of the Lord. So everyone will be accommodating Krishna while he was engaging in all the pastimes. So what is that relationship, or what is that intimate power which drive us towards Krishna? So we will be looking on to that aspect from now onwards. So that is one of the devotional practices, which is Sakyam. So it is eighth limb of nine process of devotional service. So what do you mean by Sakya? Sakya, S belongs to surrender to Krishna, as Arjuna, he was just surrendering unto Krishna, because in the second chapter it is clearly said like Karpanya dosho pahada swabhavat, कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावात् पृच्छामि त्वं धर्मसमुद्धचेता यश्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्त्यां साधिमां त्वं प्रपन्नम्. So I have lost all the composure. So I'm just surrendering unto you. So just tell me what is best for me. So like whatever the situation, if you're surrendering unto Krishna with your body, mind, and words, so then you will be able to overcome the situation, and He will be always with you eternally as a timeless friend throughout your whole life. And the second one, A, belongs to affection towards Krishna. So how the gopis exchange the feeling of love between Krishna and the other gopis. So it belongs to A. And knowledge about Krishna. So we have to, like, once we are having that faith, and if we are surrendering it to Krishna, and by hearing the transcendental messages from the guru or the saint devotees, then you will be fixed in the bhakti process, and by this process you will be able to cleanse the material contamination of these three modes, and you will be able to conquer that position, and you will come to we will be able to come to the transcendental position. Then comes a honesty. Like, we don't have to hide anything from Krishna because he is a supreme knower, right? So we are just the parts and parcels. So he knows everything. He is the absolute. So there should not be any duplicity with Krishna. Earning for Krishna and admit everything to Krishna. So just by being in association, by hearing and chanting process, and if you are having that long-term relationship with Krishna, then you will be having that attachment, and you will be more attached to the Supreme Lord rather than attaching to the matter. Haribol. So then, so now we are dwelling onto the technical aspects, where, like, why we have to be friend with the Lord, and how to have friendship with the Lord, and what are the divisions of the friendship. So Sakyam, it is like it is a friendship with the Lord. So there are so many Sakyam, Sukrit, Mitra, Vishwasa, and so many Sanskrit meanings for friendship. So we will be dealing with each one of that now. So why we should have friendship with the Lord? So it's clearly stated that in Bhagavad Gita 4.3 that only the devotee and the friend of the Lord can understand Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. And also the second one, it's just to have the peace. It's stated in 5.29. भोक्तारामित्नतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुकृतं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिरच्छति. So just by knowing that he is a well-wisher, benefactor, and he is a protector, so you will be able to attain the peace. And the third one, why we are considering this is basically it belongs to the process of devotional service. So we all know, like, by the process of devotional service, you will be able to attain the eternal position, and you will be able to get out of this material entanglements. And moving on to the next part, how to have friendship with the Lord. So for having any kind of relation, we need to have certain guidelines to be followed, right? So the same way we have to have the friendship with the Lord. If we follow the given guidelines, we will be able to build a healthy friendship with the Lord. The first one is the complete faith in the Lord in every situation, whatever situations we are put into. So if we are having this the complete faith, and if we are in constant association of hearing and chanting, and hearing about the transcendental qualities from the realized souls, it will help us to develop bhakti, and as I said, the attachment towards the spiritual Lord increases. So likewise, you will be able, your body will be spiritualized, and you will get a proper mental concussions, and your thinking, feeling, willing, everything will be towards Krishna. So the next thing is fearlessness in facing every challenge.
Please look at Mama.
Hare Krishna. fearlessness in facing every challenge, like knowing that Lord is fully with us in whatever situations we have to face in. So just having that factor, we will be able to have friendship with the Lord, and complete openness with the Lord. So we can't hide anything, as we have seen in the next previous slide, and willingness to follow his guidelines and being in his guidance and fight the ongoing struggle of our life, what is right. And as stated in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures, we have to follow his teaching, so that we will be establish a relationship with the Lord. And divisions of friendship, there are two kinds of friendship as a sadhana for everyone, and a friendship as a rasa for everyone. So we are going to see how it's been categorized on the basis of as on the sadhana level for the ordinary devotees, as well as on the rasa level. So friendship as sadhana for everyone. So how to cultivate by seeing Krishna as the most dear or the supreme friend in our everyday sadhana, as we are on the level of sadhana practice, right? So let's look at how does sadhana or the ordinary men practice this relationship uh, of being in friendship with the Lord. So sadhana level, it's categorized into two. So the first one is Vishwasa, and the second one is Mitra. So, Vishwasa means just to have the strong faith or confidence in the Lord, as Lord is a supreme benefactor and He is my protector, or whatever He does, it is only for my good. Like if He is putting me into suffering, also He is doing for my well-being. So that kind of mood, if you are having that confidence, or and by practicing that practice practicing that thing with the lot of confidence and faith, then you will be able to establish the relationship in the sadhana level. So as we have stated in 5.29, Bhoktaram Etnatavasam. So he is a Bhokta, like he is a supreme benefactor. So even if we are performing all the yajnas and everything, so everything is offered to him. So even if you are offering to demigods, ultimately it is reaching to Vishnu, right? He's a supreme benefactor. So by this performance of all these sacrifices, we are receiving all these transcendental benefits. We are released from our karmic actions, and the bad karmic thing in our life is getting diminished, and your the pious activities are getting awakened. And also you will be like, by a cleansing process, you will be able to establish the thing, and you will realize the constitutional position, seeing ourselves as the servant mode. So it's not like the material on the it is not on the material platform, but you will be like, we will be serving on the superior platform, which is in the eternal kingdom. There is no birth, disease, all this dukkhalayam. There is no dukkhalayam sashvatam, like everything is eternal over there. So even uh, even in that platform, like you can we will be able to serve Krishna in friendship mode. So so devotees who has that confidence in the devotional service in the Lord automatically follows the rules and regulations as per the shastras, because they will have the faith, okay, we will be able to achieve that kind of transcendental life in future. So just being the in the thought, like he is only the well-wisher and the protector. So there are mm, two kinds of faith. One is Shraddha and the other one is Vishwasa. So Shraddha means the starting phase, the starting faith, the preliminary faith. And Vishwasa means the matured one. So Shraddha is a, like for the beginning of the devotional service, we have to have some faith. Like we don't know the exact thing, but we will have the simple faith necessary for beginning our and engaging in devotional service. So later, over a period of time, by practicing all these things, then it will mature into Vishwasa level. So Vishwasa means a strong faith, and the Shraddha is the simple faith. So So by practicing, when one is fixed in the devotional service by hearing and chanting process, our life becomes regulated, and there will be the transforming effect on our consciousness. So that help us to establish a confidential part of our devotional service. So then moving on to the relation between 2.5 and 9.22. So in 2.45, Krishna is saying like Niryoga Shema. So, and Niryoga Shema means, yoga means connecting with the Supreme, right? And Niryoga Shema means like you have to be free from all these activities and gain and protection. And you establish, Atmavans means like established in self. So by establishing in self what all things you gain, and it is given in 9.22. So once you become established in the self, what happens after connecting with the Supreme? He will provide whatever we lack, and he will preserve whatever we have. So it is stated as Ananyashintayinto maham ye jana paryupasate tesam nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamiham. So from Niryoga Shema Atmavan, yeah, like Lord is taking us to he is providing the answer in 9.22. Like whatever you are lacking or whatever you are having, I will preserve it and I will elevate you to the spiritual platform. So yeah, likewise you will be released from all the material clutches, and we will be attracted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This happens when we are placing that faith or confidence in Krishna. And moving on to the next part, that is Draupadi. Draupadi, she has exemplified this act of sadhana, like even though he was a perfected devotee, she comes to the platform of sadhana level to enable Lord's pastimes, because Lord has many purposes to execute, right? So in order to project these messages through the great devotees, she has just even though she was in the prema level, she just came down to the sadhana level, so that for us to enables us to understand what exactly is the friendship in sadhana level. So she had faced so many challenging situations in her life along with the Pandavas, but she was not at all discouraged at any point of time. But instead, what she had, which is lacking in us, is the strong faith and confidence in Krishna, even in the midst of like the greatest difficult situations which she was put into. Similarly, like we have to inculcate that faith and confidence factor in our life, as Krishna is a friend and benefactor. So one who is fixed in that process, like they won't deviate from the engagement of service. So everything, like they will be serving favorably, and they will be cultivating that friendly mood by keeping that faith, and consider like they will consider the devotional service as in the Sakya Bhava, in the friendship level, and being practicing in the same platform. And there is one pastime, like the doctor and patient. Once the old man was getting admitted to the hospital due to his health complications, and after one day of serious test and all these things, he is discharged from the hospital. So by seeing the bill, he was amazed, and he is asking to the doctor, like, oh, what is this? What exactly is the amount belongs to? So they said, like, we have just put you in the ventilate, like in the ICU, and we have just given you the oxygen thing. So this bill accounts to that. So within that fraction of time, he said, okay, for the past 90 years, like I was not having any health issues, and it was very minor, so I didn't face much like tribulations in my life. But he was supplying, the Supreme Lord was supplying all this air, and he didn't charge anything for the oxygen which he was supplying for whole of my lifetime. But just for one day you have charged this much amount. So that one moment he realized the fact, okay, the Krishna, the Supreme Lord, who is giving the everything emanates from him, everything is coming from him. So he is supplying everything to us. So just by having that one faith, he just deviated his consciousness to the spiritual aspect. So one of the pastime is of Giriraj Maharaj. Giriraj Maharaj, he was a millionaire, as we all know, like, and he was, he had $1 million worth of inheritance, but just he had a strong faith in Krishna consciousness. Even when his mother and father approached him and asked him to come back to his own country, he was very reluctant, and he wants to serve Prabhupada's mission. And he had the strong faith in Krishna consciousness than $1 million, which is of the material opulence he was possessing. So he didn't give up Krishna conscious just for the sake of material things. So he was fully dedicated. He know what exactly is his path, and he had followed that thing. So we can just inculcate that 1% of the Baba Maharaj had, and we can just put it in our lives in order to move forward. So Vishwasa and Shraddha we have already seen, right? So by practicing Shraddha, by practicing in Shraddha level, we will be able to achieve Vishwasa. So Vishwasa is the result of Shraddha. So moving on to the next division, Mitra. So here in Vishwasa, it is stated as Lord is my friend. But in Mitra, it is considered as, oh, I am Lord's friend, and I will try and I will make all the endeavors to make Lord happy. So these are the both divisions. And here in the Mitra level, the devotee become the well-wisher of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the friendship here is the more intensified, and he the person who is following will start thinking himself as a well-wisher of the Lord. And also it is like more closer baba of Sakya. And ordinarily, like, if Krishna is seeing Krishna, like, we devotees sees Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the well-wisher, right? But in this Mitra level, like, we will be seeing, okay, the as we will become the well-wisher of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one nice analogy is there, like a cloud analogy. Cloud is also a friend of Meghata Sukritam, because cloud is also a friend of Krishna, because they are having the same bodily color. So Krishna accepted cloud as a friend because cloud and Krishna satisfy the people when they are disturbed. So when people are burning in the scorching heat, or when they are suffering because of the disturbances provided by the sun, like, the clouds satisfy that people with the rain, right? So likewise, when the people is in materialistic life, they become, even though they are attracted to the temporary happiness, but they sometimes they become disturbed by the blazing fire of the material pangs. So the Krishna consciousness is the only factor which gives him relief like a cloud. So the repetition of birth and death, like the birth, old age, disease, everything, it is just compared to the forest fire without any endeavor, anyone's endeavor. It is like, by just the friction of these wood, the easily catches fire in forest, right? So likewise, it is not possible to extinguish also. So if you are approaching the Lord, or by the mercy of the spiritual master, or by following the Guru, Shastra, and other scriptures, we can just overcome the worldly fire, and just by the water of mercy of the cloud of saints. So as the forest fire is extinguished by the rain falling, so likewise we can just try to extinguish the thing, worldly fire, just by the mercy of our Supreme Lord and his representatives in the material world. And what we have to do, being in the Mitra level, so it's been clearly stated here. So Krishna is just giving us the mercy. So we are just acting on behalf of Krishna, like in the preaching level. So by approaching the by approaching the conditional souls, or by distributing the books, or by speaking Bhagavad Gita to them and making aware of the transcendental knowledge and what is our relationship, or what is the constitutional position, as we are the eternal servants, part and parcel of the Lord. So like Lord is suffering, or Lord is suffering to get us back to the supreme abode, right? But we are thinking that this material happiness is everything, and we are allocating this time for ourselves without turning back to Krishna. So just keeping that thought in our mind, okay, God is doing everything for us, so let me do a bit of that thing what he has been doing for us, and by the preaching service. So initially we had the feeling that um, like the preaching Krishna consciousness is only able to do only for the highest or the exalted devotees. It is not like that. Wherever, like each and everyone can have that the mood, and we can preach the. We can preach and become the instruments of messengers of Krishna. So we can just assist Krishna in his mission of bringing us back to the supreme abode. So we all have that mercy, and we are having that association also. So we just take that opportunity, and we can fulfill the Lord's wish through Mitra level. So moving on to the summary of Vishwasa and Mitra. Puja Mataji, can you just read the summary of Vishwasa?
Mataji. Summary of Vishwasa. The Lord is my benefactor and friend, and my only shelter. From him only I get maintenance and protection. I take solace in his promise of protection in all difficulties, and I will not give up his shelter for any material opulences. Mitra also, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, yeah.
Okay. Summary of Mitra. I am the well-wisher of the Lord. Like him, I want to help others and relieve their distress. I especially show my friendship with the Lord by teaching others of his glories and the secret of surrender to him. I want to relieve the Lord of any inconvenience out of friendship. I may also, in friendship, see the Lord in intimacy with informality.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
So now we are going to look upon the friendship on the rasa level. So we know like there are 5 levels: Santa rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, Valselya rasa, and Madhurya rasa. So Santa is a neutrality level, Dasya is servitorship, and the Sakya is the friendship, and Valselya rasa is the parental love, and Madhurya rasa is the topmost, which is conjugal love. So Santarasa, in that we will be having that unflinching faith in Krishna. So the sense of greatness will be there, and we will be get rid of all these material desires, and we will be in that mood of serving Krishna. And coming to Dasya Rasa, that sense of service, the development of spirit of service, that is a Sauraita level. And moving on to the next level, like they will think Krishna as equal, like they don't have any too much awe and reverence, and they will be having that equality with Krishna. And coming to the next level, it is like sense of superiority, a sense of maintaining they are the well-wishers and they are protecting the Lord. So that kind of the parental love will be established in the Valsala Rasa. And coming to the Madhurya level, it is like total self-surrender. It is the topmost level. So based on this level, like we will be going to look upon the divisions based on the transcendental rasas. So friendship as rasa, the first one is Puravyasas. So they are the friends living outside Vrindavana or Dwaraka or Hastinapura. And second classification is Vrajasakas, friends in Vrindavana. So Pura Vyasas is like example Arjuna, Bhima, Draupadi, Suthama Brahmana. So everyone they were having that the fraternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is a nice example in which the Krishna and Arjuna, like Arjuna has exemplified his the friendship level by his qualifications as well as his activities. So when the fighting, the Kurukshetra war was going on, like how Krishna had helped Arjuna in fulfilling his desire, and how to overcome the grief, and everything is it's very nicely given in Bhagavad Gita. And also when the fighting was going on, the Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya, he started attacking the Krishna by releasing various kinds of arrows, and he was hastily attacking Krishna. So although it is not in as per the rules and regulations, they should not attack the chariot driver, right? So he has just taken the position of chariot drivers only for the sake of Arjuna, being sharing that intimate relationship with Arjuna. So by seeing this arrows coming from Ashwatthama, like Arjuna just stood in front of Krishna, and he saved Krishna from all these things. So even though the arrows were falling on Arjuna, but he felt that okay, he is doing something for Krishna, and like that love towards, or the intimate friendship towards Krishna developed, and he thought okay, he the arrows which Ashwatthama was throwing towards Krishna, or which was falling onto Ashwatthama, it just felt like okay, they are he is just showering flowers unto Arjuna. So that kind of mood, or the ecstatic mood Arjuna has towards Krishna, because even though he was suffering, he just felt of by seeing Krishna in that thing, he just want to save Krishna, and because he is a supreme, Krishna is a supreme, and he don't want anyone to save. But that love or the mood of Arjuna towards Krishna is something amazing. So that is one pastime. And moving on to the next pastime, and when Arjuna was sleeping, on the lap of Krishna after the war, and he was just taking the rest. And by seeing that sight, Narada approached, and he was bewildered by this thing. How come like Arjuna can sleep on your lap? Because everyone is eager to serve you, and but you are just serving Arjuna, and you are just massaging Arjuna's head. So how come it is possible? Because the n number of devotees are waiting and eagerly waiting to serve you, but you are suffering in the forest and serving Arjuna. So how come it is like I am not able to understand this kind of relationship? Now, when Narada questioned like this, so Krishna asked Narada to come near Arjuna, and even like to just to hear the sound vibration which is emanating from the pore of Arjuna's skin, or the body. So when Narada heard the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, the mantra which is emanating from the pores, so it completely changed the view of Narada. So that kind of the mood they were sharing between the Arjuna and Krishna. And coming to the next classification, Brajasakas, friends in Vrindavana. So here, this type of friendship or the affection, they are devoid of all this fear, or they don't have any other restriction. Because if we are exchanging that kind of level, characterized by prankish or the humorous attitude, they don't have any restriction, or the shyness. Every time they will be eagerly waiting how we can serve the Lord, or how we can be in association with the Lord. uh, So it is further classified into 4 categories, Brajasakas. Here they are having the equality with the Lord, and so Brajasakas, the first one is Sukrit, and the second one is Sakas, and the third one is Priyasakas, and the fourth one is Priya Narmasakas. So Sukrit means well-wisher, Sakas mean friend, and Priyasakas means confidential friend, and Priya Narmasakas means intimate friend. So we will be looking upon each and each categories now. So well-wisher, well-wisher, like Sukrit means like they are slightly older than Krishna, so they are having some kind of parental affection towards Krishna. That rasa is parental, or that Valsalya Bhava is there, and always try to protect Krishna from any harm. So they will take all these weapons, and they will keep the weapons, everything in hand, and because they can encounter any, if any mischievous person or any demons comes to hurt and harm Krishna. So that kind of mood, because they in their aspect, they like every time, like they will be in that mode. Okay, I have to protect Krishna, or I have to try all my life to give protection to Krishna. So that kind of mood they have set up. So coming to Sakas, Sagas, they are little younger than Krishna, so but they are always in that mood of service. They render all the service to Krishna, like they will comb the hair, and if after fighting, like if Krishna arrives after fighting with the demons, or after killing the demons, they will come and assist Krishna in everything, and they will massage the feet, and because they want to engage in some sort of service. So the Krishna, they don't want the Krishna to be very tired, or very down because of his thing. So likewise, they will engage in all sorts of thing. Though they are younger than Krishna, they have that service attitude. So they will help Yashoda Maya to dress Krishna, and also they will inform where their cows are, or they will help them in pasturing that cows and thing, and they will help in fanning and massaging him. So likewise, they will be equally engaged with Krishna for in all his activities. And coming to the next division, Priya Sakas, the most confidential friend. They are Priyasakas, and so Sukrit, we said like it is on the platform of parental love, and Sakas we dealt with in the service attitude, and here it is like basically it is based on the pure friendship level. So so here the Sakas are having the same age, more or less the same age. So the friendship is based on the equality also, and there is no influence of any parental affection or service attitude. So one who exemplifies this level, or this kind of friendship, is Sri Dama and Sudama here. So Sri Dama, like once he said, okay, like when Krishna left all the gopis over there in nearby Yamuna river, like Sridama was questioning and Krishna, like why you have left us, and we were completely bewildered and fully in lamentation, like where you have gone. So likewise, like they will embrace Krishna with their love, or they would come from back, and they will close or cover the Krishna's eyes, and they will be having that confidential relationship, and and also the other friend, like Madhumangal, so he would love to eat laddus. So wherever Krishna is there, he would accompany him, and that place would be filled. If Madhumangal is there, so that place would be filled with full of humor and laughter. So he will tell Krishna, okay, if you are giving laddus to me, and I will bless you. So likewise, Krishna used to do that, because that bhava, Krishna is seeing that bhava, or that intimate love that friends are having towards Krishna. So likewise, they were having the most confidential, intimate relationship with Krishna. So in Sukrit, example is like Mandali Bhadra and Balabhadra, and Sakas, Subala, like all the Brajavatis, they, because they will be waiting for Yashoda to open the door, so that they can immediately go and serve the Lord. So likewise, they are establishing, and they are engaging in all kind of activities. So one is in parental love, and the second one is on service attitude, and the third one is in the most confidential, in a pure friendship basis level. And Priya Dharma Sagas is the topmost category, where the intimate friend, the most intimate friends, who are still more confidential. So Krishna used to engage them in very confidential service of like arranging the meeting with gopis and all. So the chief one, the chief example here is Supala. Supala, like gopis itself, they will be very will be very jealous and envious of Supala's intimacy with Krishna, because they used to say, okay, because Supala has that power, or that has intimacy to he can approach Krishna, and he can whisper Krishna in Krishna's ear, and also he can just feed Krishna, and he was having that feeling of exchange was something amazing, which they were sharing. And also he can just decorate Krishna with a garland, or he can just feed Krishna with a nice prasadams, or the offerings which they have brought it from home. And also they can deliver the letters of gopis to Krishna. So nobody can understand what intimacy, or what exactly the connection between Supal and Krishna was, because that kind of the degree of intimacy shared between them, um, it can be understood just by being in that level, or being sharing in that platform. So one another chief Saka is Ujjwala. Ujjwala says like like he will be assisting Krishna for okay. Krishna for tax collection, and in the pearls pastimes also, like they have engaged, and they have given their best to engage in their Krishna's Saka attitude. So each and every individual friends, they will serve in their own way in order to please Krishna, just for the pleasure of Krishna. So like they will make a Krishna smile, or just by seeing the qualities of Krishna, they will get mesmerized and being in that friendship level. Or just by their simplicity, some will please the Lord. Or just by cracking jokes, or like somehow or other, they will engage in Krishna's activities, and they will try to please the Lord. So we are um, uh, like we are in not in that level. So we have just covered in like a sadhana level. So I'm just giving the gist of Brajasakas, like how they are engaged in and assisting Krishna in his relationship with the gopis. So even though the devotees are in exalted platform, they are serving Krishna in the Sakya level, right? So likewise, we can also try to please Krishna, or engage in facilitate Krishna's, or the his representatives mission, just by engaging in devotional service, and trying to please the Lord by the sense of sense of Sakya Bhava. So these are the pastimes where Krishna had a good relationship, or the kind of relationship he had with his Brajavatis. And yeah, Sant Bishop Prabhuji, yeah, could you please read the feelings of Sakya Baba, the first one?
Yes, Mataji. Krishna's feeling for his friends in Vrindavan. He once said to Balarama, "My dear brother, when my companions were being devoured by Aghasura, hot tears poured down from my eyes. And as they were washing my cheeks, my dear elder brother, for at least one moment, I completely lost myself." Nectar of Devotion, chapter 42. Haribol.
Haribol. So when the Brajavasis and or his intimate friends was trapped in Akasura's mouth, he was having that strong feeling towards them, like what they will be doing. How like one moment he completely got lost, and he was sharing his feelings to Balarama. So that kind of exchange of love was there between Krishna and his friend. So moving on to how Krishna's friends feel about him. So you have spent 7 nights standing constantly without sleep, with holding up Govardhana. You must be very tired. So they are saying, okay, like you have been holding this Govardhana for 7 nights and you must be tired, and you just pass on to Sridhama's hand. Or else, like because by seeing Krishna suffering, they are getting disturbed, and by seeing that Krishna in that condition. So without knowing Krishna is the supreme or the absolute, or he's the source of everything, they are having that kind of mellow, that Sakya Bhava, so that they don't want Krishna to suffer, and everything. So out of love, they are saying, okay, either you just pass on to Sridhama, or else you just give it to you just transform it to your right hand. So likewise, so because they are eager to serve their or massage Krishna's hand. So likewise, they are developing the mood of friendship, and we can see explicitly here. So the key takeaways. The first one is we have discussed about friendship as sadhana for everyone. So in sadhana level, by practice, for ordinary men, how we can cultivate Krishna as a friend, and how we can just develop that bhava. So we dealt with two divisions. The first one is Vishwasa and Mitra. So in Vishwasa, you will have that confidence and faith. So Lord is my protector and my friend. And in the Mitra level, you will have the feeling that I am Lord friend, so I have to do something and I have to make him happy. So just by taking up the process of preaching, so you will be like, we will be able to fulfill the desire of the Lord. And second one is the friendship as rasa for some devotees. So that is Sakya Sthai Bhava. So and again it is divided into two divisions, in the city and in Braja. So like we dealt with each and everyone, like one who is older than Krishna, younger than Krishna, on the same level. So how they are relishing those activities, or they are having the confidential or the intimacy with Krishna. So it's been clearly discussed. So how Krishna is our eternal, timeless, and ever well-wishing friend. Uh, like just by taking all these pastimes in our mind, and we can just try to place Krishna and be in that service attitude, because we know, like, we are the eternal servants and we are the part and parcels of the Lord. So we have to serve the Lord. So every time we are hearing, okay, we have to serve the Lord, we have to serve the Lord, we have to please the Lord. But by serving the Lord, if a Lord finds that intimacy or the love towards Krishna is more pleasing than your service, so obviously he will accept you as his friend. Then you can establish the relation or the friendship relation with Krishna. So that is something amazing. So we can just try to establish that connection with Krishna by developing the Sakya Bhava with Krishna, and without any without hiding anything. And it will, because Krishna will not cheat us, right? So everything, like if you are openly communicating with Krishna, so that kind of friendship bhava which you will be able to establish with Krishna is like you will be able to come out of all kinds of fear and everything. And so coming to like by practicing in sadhana level, like we will be able to achieve that kind of friendship like Sudama was having. So Sudama once when he was in Santipani Muni's ashram, like he was an young Brahmana boy, and Krishna and Sudama was very young boys, and being asked by his guru, like they went to collect the woods from forest, and they got lost, and it was heavily raining heavily, and they completely lost their way, and they spent the whole night in the forest. So these everything, like all these things, so the like Krishna was remembering when Sudama after 100 years, like he was when he came to Dwaraka for seeing Krishna. So this talk can takes place just between the two friends only, like the way he rejected the cheap price for Krishna initially, and later he accepted that because it was brought with love and affection. So that kind of thing, when we accept the thing, like when we accept that love, or Krishna accepts our love towards him and the devotion towards him, we will be able to even though it is 100 or after liberation or after getting involved in our transcendental rasas. So like we Krishna will be able to remember everything because he is the like supreme knower, and he will be able to accept us even though if we are trying to inculcate, or if we are trying our best to establish the friendship with Krishna. So these are the these are the friendship related or Sakyam related things. I have just provided the gist of the friendship of Sakya Bhava. So if I have committed any mistakes, kindly do forgive me because considering it as my ignorance. So my gratitude and obeisance to my eternal grandfather, Srila Prabhupada, and all other Maharajas and Prabhu's lecture who has enabled me to take up this session. Uh, Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful presentation. Now we would like to invite Vasant Prabhuji for your. Firstly, we'll just start with you. For your, please invite your comments.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji. Amazing start of the